we're off.
Happy Friday.
I know. Turn down my sound, Frank.
It's 12 o'clock Eastern Time. For some of you that might be working, you're enjoying lunch.
And joining us during lunch.
Joining us. Some of you may have listened to a teleconference that included Flat Andy, or the real Andy, just a little while ago. And today our timing couldn't be worse. It couldn't be better,
and it couldn't be worse.
Because we know what you know. And I feel like the next hour of us sitting here is going to include us answering the same damn questions over and over
again.
So be patient with us. Welcome to Live from Rabs from inside a still closed,
as of this moment,
Rabs Country Lanes. Hi, Naz.
Hi, Frank. You know what I feel like? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I feel like we're on like a real newscast where like late news comes in and you don't really know all the details, and we're going back and forth. Like, come on, we want more details and we can't get them. So I feel like this is a extra hyped up.
Yeah, if only we had like the breaking news sounds.
We need our friend Joe Cal.
Is it really breaking news? Because it's still a question.
Right, because we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what we don't know. But welcome to Live from Rabs. That we do know. And so breaking news with a question mark.
But in anticipation of good news, we have changed Andy into a bowling shirt.
Yeah, is this a child shirt?
No.
I mean, you can't really tell because it's a little short. It's a little, all right.
It's
it looks
not.
good. It'll show off his muscles.
Yes, you know how him and his
brother. Maybe he want to show off some hair.
Yeah, he doesn't have all that. I am probably, depending on what happens, maybe cut the head off. I don't mean cut his head off, but put it on a mannequin. So like as I originally had planned to do, but things are crazy right now.
Yeah. Well, we usually have a little rushing before we get rolling.
Right, but this is a different kind.
Today was a different kind of rush.
Yeah.
I have excitement. I'm not excited.
I'm
excited. I'm not excited.
Right.
Because we just don't know. So what you're all asking about, and what we do believe to be, what we know to be true, within this past hour, the governor who's been doing a teleconference, notice, Naz, it's been teleconferences this week. I wonder if Andy's on vacation.
They said he's in Albany, because I did a little...
Why can't we see him?
Maybe
Why can't we see him all of a sudden?
I don't, maybe...
The mountain. Today would have been a perfect time to show the mountain with the bowling pins.
He was...
All the bowling pins that have been shipped off to the governor's office.
He was a little tongue-in-cheek during the teleconference. You know, he mentioned a couple of times about his sparkling wit, or whatever terms he used, and
he's blowing himself up. His ego.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't. That's fine. You can have all the ego you want. I don't care if you're doing the job. That's fine, because that part I can turn off and let him do what he has to do. As long as you're doing the job,
he would be better with sunglasses. We should get him. We have a pair of sunglasses somewhere.
Yeah, but they're gonna be kind of small.
They're gonna be
maybe we can draw them on.
Size.
Yeah, maybe we can draw them.
Fit well on his little head here. His head's not this little in person.
No, I would think his head is a little bigger than that. But yes, and as you were saying, the announcement has been made about bowling centers. We don't know.
Right. So what was said? So here's some fact checking.
Yes. Here's
the problem.
Frankie's got the facts.
We don't have facts yet.
Well, you have the facts that we have.
So we have the fact, right? With the facts that we have, we personally did not hear it come out of his mouth.
Correct.
Because he was still live at the time we were coming on. So when you're live, you can't rewind to listen. Sparkling wit, there you go. So what we believe, what we have heard, the governor had said, bowling alleys can open on Monday, and he specifically said using every other lane and wearing masks in the facility. We don't know what that means.
Correct. That is way broad.
That's very broad.
Yeah.
We don't know if that includes New York City.
Correct.
We don't know if it's. We don't know.
We don't know
because New York City still has no indoor dining. So are they going to? Are they going to basically now give? Come Monday, bowling centers throughout the state, are we all going to get to open?
Yeah,
or
right.
will it still be certain areas can't open? We're hoping not. We're hoping that we get to go.
Oh, we are praying.
We might not open on Monday, but we will be ready to be opening this week if we can. So we're patiently waiting for more information. We're excited. Our hard work obviously worked. Our governor's office has listened. This past week, you probably saw some Facebook posts.
And I'm not going to dismiss any of that hard work that was done.
No. That's right.
What I'm saying is, the movement happens when Flat Andy showed up. And it could be a coincidence. It could be, but maybe it's not. I just want to throw that in there.
My phone has been blowing up for the past 20 minutes. And I'm actually trying, somebody's at the door, and we're going to get Liz to open the door.
Okay, I'll get her. You do that, I'll do this.
So funny story, Fox News is here this afternoon to do a piece on the fact that bowling centers are still closed.
How funny is that?
And he couldn't have worse or better timing because we don't know.
Maybe they have some news.
I think I don't even know. He just texted me to tell me they wanted to come in. I don't think he knows any more yet, but we'll find out when they walk in the door and have a conversation. So I'll look for us tonight or this afternoon. I don't know when, but on Fox News. The story was supposed to be about bowling centers still being closed with zero guidance. So today we still have zero guidance.
As of right now,
the only guidance that we understand is at 50% capacity, utilizing every other lane.
Maybe not for us,
with
though.
Masks, but maybe not for New York City. We are hoping that not to be true, but we don't know. So we will, as soon as we have more information, you will be the first to know. I would have loved, if this was 2:00, if we were back at our old time, maybe we'd have some more information. I don't know. But we're hoping that we can get you, once we get information, we can share it with you. But we're happy. I know you guys are excited. Many of you have been going to Jersey to practice and get ready for a new bowling season. And because we've been closed, and hopefully today's announcement will be helpful. And it looks like we're getting details as we speak. So Chrissy Kent is sharing that food only delivered by wait staff.
But so, but does that
again? We don't know. We don't know what that includes. So because indoor dining is still halted.
Right.
We are here in New York City.
Where
we
they
do not have indoor dining.
They have dining.
Upstate New York has indoor dining. So with the fact that if indoor dining is still operating upstate New York, then that would be, you can't go up to the counter.
Sense.
You can't congregate at the counter to get your food. You have to go to the lane, which makes sense.
Listen, I would even if they told us, and listen, it would be difficult because we do want to be able to fully serve our customers food. But if they gave us that same, it would be, they would have to address indoor dining, I would think, at the same time.
Well, yeah,
because how could they allow? Yeah, Liz said she'll be right there. How could they allow us to serve by wait staff and not allow restaurants
to come back on live when you got more info? Thanks, Todd. We got thrown to the wolves today.
We might, correct. And you know what?
We might be back later on. We might come back with breaking news.
And we definitely will if that happens.
You just don't know. We don't have we like not prepared today as we got like literally thrown.
Yeah, this is crazy. Excitement. I will tell you, as much as we're tempering our excitement, it will be very disappointing if New York City's not included.
Yes, Nazareth. So here's the thing.
That will be...
Anybody that knows me well knows that I don't get excited until there's there's ink on a piece of paper, that we know we have like a firm understanding of what could happen. And that's not just with this announcement, that's with anything. Is Liz going to get them out the door?
She is. She said she'll be there in a minute. Okay. She was on the phone with a customer. I'm asking Joe if he has details.
You're asking someone who probably doesn't have any other details either.
Well, he's in the, he manages. He's at the station.
He just announced it 15 minutes ago.
I understand, but maybe he knows. Maybe he has people he can.
But yes, out. So we're glad that. So there are tweets that it basically have quoted the governor. There are some articles. I mean, they're quick. They're nothing. It's just based on what he wrote today.
Right.
What he said today on the teleconference. So what has happened in the past few times that he's made similar announcements that
my phone is going crazy too.
Within several hours, the guidance has been updated and emailed to us. So the governor's office gets kudos for the communications to everyone as we've moved along.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Every day there's an email that comes. Anybody that is sent, if you took the time to write the governor's office, you were added to their email list, and so each day you'll see what we see, and then the businesses get another piece of information that includes anytime there's an update on guidance, the forward New York.
Correct.
Got them after broadcasting a lot. You got it, Todd.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
So our friend Chad said congratulations, and I just wrote back, hey, we're hoping. Not sure it applies for New York City.
I'm still trying. I'm reaching out to a couple.
And here he writes, I just read it in about 5 different outlets. It's on the news. It has to be true.
But we don't know if it includes New York City. That's what we want to know.
And yes, Andy, Cuomo did say, Andy Link, Andy Cuomo did just say bowling alleys can open Monday. We don't know what that means.
Right.
We just said it 20 minutes ago, half hour, whatever it is. I've lost track of time.
Yeah, we're going to probably continue
and we're hoping
to
for more.
That.
So we'll keep sharing. As soon as we get information, we will be sharing it. That's what we've been very consistent with throughout this whole process. And we hope that you'll be listening. We know you'll be listening. Whether it's here, check out our website, Facebook.
And obviously,
anywhere.
As soon as we have any confirmation, and we know for sure, we will be happy to pass it on. Ink on paper.
words that we could print out on guidance.
Or from Andy's mouth.
From Andy's mouth.
And we would want, but he didn't say what areas it includes.
Correct.
So we just need some more clarification.
And if anything, we all know it's the unknown here in New York as New York City.
Yes.
And I have to, with all the regions, it's been a change, and so we just don't know. So we're excited. We want to be even more excited.
Oh my gosh!
Monday is a very quick turnaround. I have to say, I don't. And this has been a challenge in the beginning when they gave the restaurants the go and pulled the plug on the restaurants, gave the restaurants the go.
Yep.
They gave them ample time, and I'm not saying that we're not ready. But there were many things to be considered.
Right.
For a bowling center that's been closed for 5 months, no matter where they've been throughout the state, they might not have had the opportunity to order food. So here they're going to open up their concessions if they can, if they have indoor dining.
Right. Don't talk them out of it.
No, I don't want to talk anybody out of it. I'm just saying these are the concerns that I would imagine our friends throughout the state certainly have. And so don't be surprised if many of your centers don't specifically open at that time frame or announce
they could have additional things that need to be done.
And check it out, Flat Andy now has a mask on.
Oh, he's a little unsteady on feet.
I have a smaller one. You can use. Oh, there you go. So anyway, Naz, I want to come off this topic for just a second.
Okay.
I have to say,
able to stay off it, but
if you watched our show yesterday, we went almost 2 hours.
Oh, we did.
That is not the plan for today. We are back to our regularly scheduled time, as we have guests here today that we need to be done for. However, I want to apologize, but say thank you. We did make a promise in the beginning of the show.
Yes.
That we would not talk politics.
And we've been true. We've been true
121 episodes. 120 episodes, very true. You know, we dabbled in a couple of bits here and there. But yesterday, Naz opened up.
Do you know how that started, right?
At the hour mark, or right before the hour mark, Nazareth asked a question, specifically about.
Do you remember what it was?
The hydrochloroquine.
Yes.
Okay. So so we got into a medication conversation, and poof, we ran. However, I want to say thank you to those that hung in there, watched, and participated, because we had a great conversation.
It was awesome.
And so thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in what we were talking about, nobody took sides. We were just sharing information.
It was great. It was great.
It really was a great conversation. Yeah. We won't do it again.
No, we won't. As much as we want to. And I did watch. I haven't been very interested in that medication, the treatment of COVID, and I did watch another doctor that I started following.
This is how this started yesterday.
Yes, we're not gonna go on. He's incredibly. He's very good at treating immune sensitive diseses. And
we just introduced extra light.
Yes. Oh, we're super bright
now. We're super bright right now. Christine, we're not throwing bowling pins at Como.
No,
we're in good. We just made good graces with him today on his teleconference. He had some good things to say and told us that bowling alleys can open. We're just waiting for the details, so we're not throwing him at him.
No.
We didn't throw a lawsuit at him.
No.
And you know the funny part?
Yes.
So the funny part about the whole thing.
Ironically,
Naz said it a little while ago. Bowling, we took the high road, and it's something that we do in business, something that we firmly believe in anyway. And
this is true.
You have to take the high road at the same time.
It's not easy.
It's not easy,
especially when you're fighting for your life.
Our fellow bowling proprietors throughout New York State have pushed our constituents and have asked you to write letters to the governor's office. We've sent bowling pins.
Yeah.
We've held press conferences throughout the state.
All of it.
All of the above. This past week, actually this week, several of our proprietors had engaged with their local officials, with the governor's office on some teleconferences, and they've been very positive, which I believe is what led to today's announcement. Yeah. Ironically, gyms are getting their guidance on Monday with no opening date. Now, I'm not wishing anything bad on my gym friends.
Listen, I hope they can open. Listen, I'm a gym person, so I want to be able to go back to my gym. They're the ones that dropped the lawsuit. But they actually filed a lawsuit, and apparently they will not be opening on Monday, but they'll get their guidance on Monday for them.
So I'm hoping that our guidance comes before Monday.
Well, yes, if we're supposed to open on Monday, the guidance will be good.
We can't say we, because we don't know what bowling includes.
Yes, you're right.
We can't say we.
Every once in a while, I just put it out into the universe.
I know, we have to say we, because we're excited. We want to be the ones to have that ability to reopen. But until we know more.
We are...
Live-from-Rabs with Naz and Casper. Yeah.
He does look super...
I'm super...
And
I just lost my tan.
He's tan right now.
Yeah.
He's actually tan, so it would actually be a little worse.
We love the behind, so you're getting a little behind-the-scenes look as well of what's happening around here. This might be, to the extent, the best lighting that we've ever had, because we're always complaining about the lighting in this place. We have lights; they never work.
Well, can you imagine as a professional people come in the building and they look at us and they look around and go, do it every day for me.
Do you know that we're in high def? We now can stream at 1080p.
Oh my gosh! Well, if I would have known that,
isn't that amazing?
I would have.
It's still not high def if you're looking at it.
I would have put a little extra makeup on. I would have put some makeup on today.
Yes, Mike. Great news. But I like how he says, "I hope it's true" in the comments here.
How funny!
We do too. We Mike, and for those that are just tuning in that caught the teleconference and the tweets and some alerts on your phones. Bowling alleys have been given a go. We don't know what that means.
We are hoping that this includes New York. It's so funny that they would be here today filming us when we are the most unprepared and scattered today. Well, we're talking about things we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and so our friend Joe Cal.
He sent it to you?
He sent it to us from an article that, it's the same information, but it does dive into saying parties that stay within their party at the lane that they're bowling on. Of course, there must be cleaning protocols in place. Food and alcohol services only permitted by waitstaff at the party's lane. And I'm going to say I don't believe that applies to us because there is no indoor dining. So that would not. I mean, there's no way that they're going to allow us to serve food and drinks
and not the
with wait service in a restaurant not indoor dining.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
If we can open, then it would be with no indoor.
With no indoor. And listen, if that's what we have right now, we will make do with what we have.
Ken Soto, welcome back to the program.
We missed you, Ken.
Ken does send us notes that he watches the show and catches the replays. And, you guys can read his comments, but he's basically saying that De Blasio, he called him by his nickname, one of his nicknames. It will be coming on.
Right, one of his ones that can be said.
If you remember the fight between Cuomo and De Blasio, I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter what De Blasio says.
No,
it's certainly up to
Cuomo. He's the king of New York.
We'll find out.
We should probably put a little crown on him.
We should get him a crown. We'll have to find out.
Well, if New York opens and it includes New York City, the crown will come.
All right, I like it. The crown. We have crowns. We could get a Burger King crown for it. Do they still do that? I don't know. There's no way that they've stopped. They still have to do
They should still.
I don't know the last time I was at a Burger King.
No, it's been. And there's one right across the street. We should visit.
When are we going 3D or 8K?
Oh.
With 3D, we sometimes do the ooh. Stephen, I wanted to talk about Stephen. Who welcomed you to the program? You haven't been on with us, or you've been a stalker and you don't share. But hello, cousin Stephen. And Naz.
But Frank,
I hope that we have this excitement about the New York Mets.
Well, they have won 2 games in a row.
Now,
scored a lot of runs, had decent pitching, and one of the games was a pieced together staff that was a bullpen game essentially, and so yeah. Well, who's starting to hit, and that's going to help them. Alonso. Coming out of it a little bit. Unfortunately, McNeil got hurt yesterday. We still don't know. He crashed into the wall.
Did they say what he's doing?
They said that he had an MRI on his knee, I believe, came back negative, and probably that it's going to be day to day. But that's what I had heard so far. But
I did tell you, Burger King still has crowns. I got one for Capizzi's King of the Hill when he won. That's right. I remember those pictures. Chef Sheree, welcome to the program.
Oh, we have a crowd.
We have some extra friends today.
Extra friends
who are excited about the announcement that was made. Mr. Gordon, you'll have to stay tuned for details on what will happen
and how we're going forward,
and how we're going to go forward. Hopefully, we can go forward this week.
And everything will be obviously always posted on our Facebook page. Yes.
And we do anticipate that for a short term, reservations are probably for open play.
Yeah, until we get a feel of what's actually going to happen.
Happy Friday.
It could be a very happy Friday.
TGIF.
Yeah, when was the last time? Well, we say it every week.
But we don't usually mean it.
Well, we mean it because the weekend's coming. We don't mean it because it's actually the day is.
Well, the day doesn't matter to us these days. The day doesn't matter. It's still March, so March 150 something.
Yeah.
And
this is.
You feel all right?
Yeah, I'm a little verklempt, I think.
Well, that's all right. That's the first time. So episode 122, and we had quite breaking news with a question mark. Usually we're pretty definitive. When we say breaking news, we're pretty definitive about breaking news.
We don't like to talk about things, one, that we don't know about, and 2, like you said, unless we know for sure. And that's why
I don't want to get people excited.
Up until the time we came on, I asked Frankie, is this, you see it somewhere? Where do you see it? Because until we have confirmation, we really don't want to talk about it.
The funny part, I was starting to set up, and Nazareth comes in, and we're talking, and she's talking about her grandchildren, of course, as always, and which is a good thing. She should be a proud grandma.
Yes, I am.
And I got a text message from Brandon Patterson, who's the chief of staff of Diane Savino, who said bowling alleys can open on Monday. And I said, excuse me? And I was totally thrown off. I had no clue what to say, but I didn't believe it. I didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah,
but now it's
no
the chief of staff of the senator's office. I'm like, oh, well, maybe there's some information. Maybe I thought that was inside information.
That's exactly what I thought.
Not that it was a public teleconference.
Right.
And then I was like, oh. And I totally, I looked at Naz and I'm sorry. And I started walking away.
Well, and
I said it out loud and she's like, what? And so, we just ran off into the office to go pull up. We could have pulled it up here, but I had to go down there anyway. And to listen to the teleconference. The challenge was the fact that it was
still live,
and you can't rewind.
We couldn't go back and listen.
I'm sure you guys want to rewind us sometimes or fast forward when we're live.
Right. Yeah, can we just go past this? Yes. That is a Netflix and a DVR thing.
Yes, I do not like, though, when you have some things that you...
that they disable it.
Disable fast forward. But you have to. And usually it's like the stuff that you would have had to pay for or that's brand new on the...
Yeah.
It's on demand.
That's funny.
So, happy Friday.
It's crazy. It's crazy Friday.
August 1st did mark the official start of the 2021 bowling season.
Yes, it did.
It was a dark day because we still had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
Here. Today, we still don't know what's going on.
But there is maybe a little
some glimmer of
sunlight
hope
in the distance.
Yes.
And we hope the sun shines on New York City.
It is nice out today, too.
It is, and I said it this morning, it is a perfect, to me, it's almost a perfect day. There's a nice,
beautiful.
There's a nice breeze. It's warm, but it's not, because the humidity's gone.
Yes.
Humidity is bad.
Well, we're supposed to get rain.
They call it the dew point. Just call it humidity.
Oh, dew point.
Makes it sound
Do they
pretty.
measure the dew points?
Yeah, they do. They have a whole scale that they go on. And to me, it's humidity.
Meteorologist Nazareth Laursen.
Not. Got to call out.
That's one of the best jobs in the world.
You only have to be right a certain, very small percentage of the time.
You don't ever have to be right.
But listen, the thing is, all the research that they do.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying because I think they do have a hard job.
Funny,
but it is funny
that people kind of have, people don't often have a favorite newscaster, but I feel like they have a weather person that they trust. Sometimes you flip through the channels and you go, oh, you know what? And you're like, wait, I'm gonna see what so and so has to say because then I'll believe it. Yeah, I kind of feel that way. That's the way I feel. I think that.
Do you have a favorite weatherman?
I don't want to pick a favorite.
Okay, it is true though. The weatherman.
I have an online person actually that I follow.
The meteorologists, I feel, they're hired also for personality.
Yes, absolutely.
For their knowledge and personality, and
some of
so when they do come on,
appearance, I think that comes into the.
I grew up watching, oh God, right in my head, Channel 11, Green. Yeah. Mr. G.
Oh, Mr. G.
Mr. G. I grew up watching him, and so I loved watching Mr. G. But then Lee Goldberg's
Lee Goldberg's not shabby.
I happen to, Rick, he happens to be on Fox News Channel.
Rick.
And he's a really nice person. I happen to get to meet him in person. I do like him. He does some really good segments when it comes to weather. So,
and then you have Mike Woods, and
Mike Woods is awesome.
Yeah, and
who's been here?
Who has a huge following?
Who has been here multiple times?
Again, I'm not so sure how much of that has to do with this weather forecasting.
No,
the people that I've seen that follow Mike Woods,
they think he's a very handsome man.
They're not clamoring for his forecast.
No. Well, they're clamoring for his forecast, all right.
Mr. Weatherby.
Mr. Weatherby. So, Dan Salamini, bowling is, we believe, to be back, and so we're hoping for more guidance and information as we progress through the rest of the day. I feel like I'm repeating myself.
Yes, well, Frank, listen, it's kind of like when you watch news and it's kind of like on a loop. And you kind of like, didn't I just hear that a few minutes ago?
The difference, though, here on Live from Rabs, when there's breaking news, we don't get paid to have breaking news. So, when advertisers buy spot ad time on network TV,
it's a little
news,
different situation.
They pay extra to get breaking news pieces, and so half the time when there's breaking news, sorry guys, when there's breaking news, it's not breaking news; it's the same thing from before.
Same thing.
But I do believe in the drive-bys. People do drive by, watch something, and then okay, they're coming back and they'll see the breaking news. But that adds to advertisement dollars. Right. We have not been monetized.
Not yet.
Lots of product placement, which we talked about yesterday.
We talked about the product placement.
Yesterday we talked about Dunkaroos.
That are still here. If anyone would like Dunkaroos, maybe I will gift them when we open them.
You love them so much that you're going to gift them.
They were so delicious.
They're not bad. They're sweet.
They're sweet.
They're very sweet.
I actually, they're really sweet, is what I'll say. I'll just really kind of hold it right there. A little sweet.
That's right. So all I know is that when we get to go, we'll be ready to rock and roll. You'll have Ronnie. Welcome to the party.
He went to his granddaughter's virtual dance recital.
We talked about the virtual dance recital a few weeks ago with our friends from the St. George Theater and Luann and Doreen, Mrs. Rosemary's, and how my niece had the opportunity and did her dance recital virtually. She was excited to put her little dress on, and it certainly wasn't the same.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, it's something that they got to do.
Yeah.
And so
it's something that they look forward to. The kids look forward to. The parents look forward to.
Yeah.
So at least they got, at least they got kind of something out of it. It was cool. It was nice. It's nice.
I have to say, Ronnie, what I was going to say is I'm sure it was better to sit virtually than to actually sit in the theater.
Sometimes those can be super long for a few minutes
that you're waiting for your grandchild
or child. Yeah. Yes, it's kind of like life. It's a lot of suffering for a few rare moments of happiness.
So, Naz, I don't know what you had planned this weekend, but I think our plans have just been thrown
in the
air.
In more ways than one. Yeah, we've been kind of upended, and they had their dance recital in a parking lot. So I guess the kids were there. That's interesting.
That's interesting. I will in New Jersey. This was. I'm going to rant.
Yeah. Would you want to rant on a day like today? Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about dance recital. So, my brother Anthony runs the Avenel Performing Arts Center. They cannot have performances. They cannot sell tickets. They cannot have performances as per the guidelines. But they could rent the space out and host a dance recital. So they did.
Inside?
They had a school that hosted a dance recital. Speaking of Luann and Doreen, that's who I just got a text message from. Oh my God. And now they're saying lots of restrictions, though. I don't know what else we're reading, but we'll find out. So they had a local dancing school approach them to do a dance recital.
Yeah, this text
and he kept saying, no, we can't do it.
Right.
And then he says, you know what, let's follow up, let me find out. They kept coming back saying that they can because it's considered a sport. Well, don't you know, they were able to open the theater with 100 seats, every other seat,
isn't it super strange?
And put on a show. But you can't, Anthony Rodia, who's going to be there in November, can't get on stage. One person on a stage with half the audience. Can't do it.
Yeah,
can't do it. But they can have 100 parents in the room, grandparents, whatever it might be, and all these kids dancing on the stage. Because it's considered a sport. Now, good for the dance recitals. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, they tried to keep siblings together, and it was live. All right. Well, there you go.
That's cool. That is very cool. I don't know. Was that on the show yesterday? Somebody mentioned airplanes. We were talking about traveling on a plane.
No, wasn't yesterday.
And so Jay Pintus, welcome to the party, Jay, mentioned that he had went to Vegas and that the planes had been crammed. And from my experience and conversations with friends, it's based on the airline. It's kind of been all over the place.
Right.
And not knowing, some of them skipping the middle seats. But
and some of them are not.
Some of them are not at all. Yeah. So that's not something you really want to do.
They are in, again, I believe, they are in the same kind of situation that restaurants are. I mean, they are suffering. And you don't think you see it now because they're still in the middle of it. But once we come out of COVID and people are looking to go away, prices are going to be high.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh, they said that in most areas of the country, the airports were operating at 50%, and they said New York, in particular, maybe it was Kennedy and um, Newark had lost 75% of their business. So I just, the airlines they can't operate at that type of loss.
Well, I mean, no business can.
So, right. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the ones that felt like they could kind of get away with it, people are going to fly anyway. They're like, listen, you're most of the time picking your seat anyway. When you go and look and you see the plane is, I looked at flights, and when I looked at a plane and I saw it was full and they weren't keeping it, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not do it right now, because to me that's the vulnerable.
Well, and there's everything that goes with it. Yes. There are other things that go with it. So I do believe that, and we've said this. We've been talking about this the last couple of weeks. We do believe that lots of staycations are going to continue. People aren't going to travel because they don't want to.
Yes.
Be subjected to that.
Yeah.
Depending on where they're going. Obviously, still that in this country we have travel bans throughout many states. New York had added a few more last week,
yep.
Including the Virgin Islands. It just, hey, I'm conflicted myself. I think it depends on based on what my airline has told me, the airline that I use all the time, I feel confident, but I wouldn't feel confident until I look at the booking and look at the available seats.
Yeah.
If it's crammed, I might think.
I would feel comfortable with.
I flew in the beginning of all this, right before our shutdown, and it was a great experience. I mean, we didn't have to wear masks then, but it still was a great experience. I thought the plane was clean, the airport was clean. Nobody was the flights were starting to be scarce to begin with. Because,
things were starting to shut down a little bit.
I hope Melissa didn't lock him out if you went outside.
No, he's right there, the guy.
Okay. Marie, welcome to the party. Yes, you did hear that bowling alleys can open. We are waiting for guidance and understanding of what exactly that means for us here at Rabs, located in New York City. So we do not know how that applies, and if it applies to all the regions in the state. And if it does, wonderful. And what we will do, we here are going to open when we are 100% prepared and ready to rock and roll, and have the guidance and understanding of what they would want from us, in addition to what we believe
is the right thing to do. Correct.
As part of the reopening process and the guidance that they provide, we do have to submit. It's a few page piece to answer a bunch of questions. Yes. Every business has to do this as part of the
it's not required.
Reopening process.
It is strongly encouraged.
So we do have an understanding of what it looks like, but based on what was said today, we don't have the full guidance just yet.
We don't.
Stay tuned.
Pretty much, I didn't see really.
We were just thrown to the
wolves. Very small. Guidance.
Literally thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
Monday, go ahead, just do it.
Yeah. Open on Monday.
Crazy. Nobody, and it's funny because I said it before, but nobody anticipates that quick turnarounds for many businesses, no matter what you're dealing with. But we've also proven throughout the state that we could do it, and we're ready to rock.
Correct.
Some may not be ready at all, and don't know what that looks like.
Right. But as an overall industry, I do believe the majority of them are ready to open and ready to go forward. So
Jay makes a good point.
Yeah, isn't this something that we've talked about constantly?
Oh, you're on my watch party, so you could see that?
Am I in your watch party? I thought it was just on the.
No, it's okay. I was surprised because you usually start.
Hello to
Jay actually makes a really good point, and I'd share it. I'm going to share it because I can't put it on here. We keep talking about how the expectations of businesses opening and operating at a lower capacity. Well, then, there should be business tax relief to represent. Now,
we not said that from the beginning.
Yes, sales tax is of course representative of your sales, so that's natural.
But think about the overall tax burden. That is one, and I'm not saying it's
I'm not getting a break on my property taxes because I can only operate at 50%. 100%.
Correct. Or all this time you've been at 0%. So, and I think that most people are not asking for just forgive it, just don't make me pay it. Just either give me time to pay it, or don't like knock on my door July 1st when it's due, and with your hand out when I've been closed for 4 months.
And what we've also been talking about is that they keep giving us loans, and loans are wonderful, but they have to get paid back. And I will say, I am concerned. I don't know. I watched an interview last night, and I read this before. And in this new package that's being
put together,
there's another shift in how the PPP and the SBA loans that have already been awarded will be handled. So there's more forgiveness. At the same time, it's all taxable income, which we all expected would be taxable.
Nobody. I don't think anybody took that money.
How is it taxable? And they're moving the line on how it's taxable.
Right.
So now
they're giving you this, but they're taking.
Well, so that $149,000 on the PPP, we got $147,000.
Right.
Which seems like a lot of money. It's not. It's gone.
Right.
By the way, it's gone. Used
a long time ago.
And now, if this package, the way that it's written, passes, the tax, it could be up to 100% forgiven. The tax implications fall on the business owners as income.
Of course it does.
Not the business.
No.
So now it goes back to your personal return.
Correct.
And
so now what bracket does that put you in for
additional income?
Correct.
So I don't know the 100% understanding of that, but listening to this interview last night and reading a little bit about it, I was really concerned.
It's always.
And it depends on it also depends on how you file. So we here are an S corp, so it does. We already have that implication. And at the end of the day, your businesses pay your taxes. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You could be subject to paying more income tax because of that. So why should you be subject to paying income tax on something that, oh, by the way, I'm collecting unemployment. So now I'm collecting unemployment. What am I paying that with?
Right.
I haven't made a salary.
Correct.
Well, my business has been closed for almost 6 months.
Correct. How was that income tax? How is that right? But listen, there's always going to be a way for them, and I'll say them, I mean government. Listen, because they have to recoup some of this money.
Got it. But they're the only ones that could print money and make it happen.
I agree with you.
City and the state can't do that. So the federal government certainly could.
Not disagree.
And listen, again, not going down the rabbit hole, but you have to we have to come together at the table and make that decision for what's best for everybody. And currently, we're not. I mean, there's some that will.
Right.
And yes, Ken, of course, last minute surprise. We love surprises. I'm all about surprises. It's certainly better than having nothing. Because going into today, we had zero.
We had zero.
Zero understanding of anything. Even a potential, not even a sparkle in the eye.
Yeah. And I think that some people...
Anthony, we don't know the regulations yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
This announcement came right before we went live today.
And Fran, this is what I said. Flat Andy
brought us to the left. We don't have all the regulations yet. We do have an understanding of what we might have to do.
But we don't.
And that's where the conversations this week will happen with our league officers, including yourself. But we don't know we know what you know. You might know a little bit more because we're sitting here talking.
Right, and we haven't listened to
But we are patiently waiting for the true guidance that we will have to follow. We understand short-term 50% capacity, every other lane. Is that 50% capacity based on
our
occupancy? Is it based on usage?
Right.
Which typically has been on occupancy. Lots of things that we can consider. We have plans A through Z, but now we'll have to pick which one we're going to be able to use.
Yeah.
Which probably be modified of anything from A to Z.
Yeah. Of course. And of course.
And hoping when those guidelines and regulations come to us, they're very similar to what we as a trade association presented the governor's office.
Right, right. Because in that presentation, these are all things that, coming from the bowling center side, are things that we've identified as points that need to be addressed. Right. So you would hope that going forward, they've looked at these and said, these are the areas of concern and these are the things we did with it, and not just kind of And it looks like maybe they're considering it because before I felt like they lumped us in with movie theaters and gyms where we're kind of really different than those.
And our buildings are bigger and all the things that we've talked about.
Correct. All of the things. We are all of the things.
From the conversations that our fellow proprietors had this past week with our legislators in the governor's office, they still had specific concerns that they didn't necessarily agree with us on.
I'm sure.
So because there's no understanding. So that I will be interested to see how that all played out in the guidance that they will provide. And it is interesting. You talk about, Jen mentions soccer permits to play in. I'm assuming you're talking about playing soccer or baseball in public fields, not being able to get a permit for.
But there's still, I see kids playing
right.
baseball.
But I don't think they're officially giving permits to actually host a game or.
Little League is.
But they're not public fields.
Oh, you're talking about public fields.
We're talking about the soccer fields over on Father Cat. The ability to use those, or Miller Field.
You're talking about public. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So
correct.
Right. So that's just talking about. They're still not issuing permits, and that seems a little crazy. But they are back to work because the permitting
and maybe that had
closed,
something to do with it.
And I'm sure they're backed up. And it isn't always. It depends on when you go for a filing of a permit. Sometimes it's easier than others, and it's not. You can get it within minutes, or you don't get it at all.
Right.
So for the $25, $50, $75, whatever it costs you. Because we did a few years ago, we hosted an employee a team softball game, and that was a little bit of a challenge to get the permit. Then we were given a field, we couldn't use the field, we had to go to another field because that field was already permitted for.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mess.
So one step at a time. This is definitely a step in the right direction.
We hope it's a big, big step in the right direction. So I'm happy.
Huge, huge stride.
To quote,
huge step.
Dude.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but this has been fun. Are you guys excited? I think we are excited. We're excited. We just don't know what it means.
Yeah, we want to be. We have a tempered excitement that this is the beginning of going forward. And, it's funny because our conversations up until now have kind of been in the abstract. They've been, okay, so we're going to make this plan, not knowing, not really having any direction of where we were going, and kind of thinking about, okay, well, in the future and when it happens, but now it's like, okay, well, it looks like this may be happening. Right. So now it's like, oh my God, do we have enough time to get all the things done? And when you really sit and think about it, there's so many moving pieces to something that.
Forget about just opening the doors. It's
right.
Not just opening the doors.
That's the least. That's the least. It's so many things.
Ronnie, you saved a lot of money in tolls.
Think about all those tolls.
And we are all so bored. It's very hard to be able to have the ability to go out and do something.
Oh, to have this place filled again with.
Well, it'll be filled.
Well, to me, if it'll
be filled to how we can fill it.
If it's half, it's filled.
It's very true.
Half, it's filled.
Whatever that looks like.
You're right. This is empty. Half would be filled to me.
Yes. Just with people.
Just with people.
With people.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be.
No, we need it to be a lot. We have a lot of bills to pay.
Well, yeah. Well, baby steps, right? Baby steps.
Well, and the crazy part is that, we don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, we don't.
Even on the financial side of our businesses, we don't know what that looks like.
And even we're, people automatically think, well, you're only going to have half. We'll just staff half. They only need half the people. No. We are going to need more people with less people in the building because of everything that's got to be done. So,
league bowling is the easiest to operate.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
It's open play. That certainly adds
that's
extra steps and challenges.
Right.
So to your point, you're going to wind up. I can't tell you the amount of money that we've had to spend on PPE and getting prepared. My official quest for a party at 4 on Monday. Well, we're hoping that we can make that happen. We'll see.
We'll see.
You right over there?
Yeah, I am.
What did you tell Ray when he was in the pro shop before?
I went in and I didn't shout it, but I did.
Naz went into the pro shop and she yelled something, and I was like, "Oh, it sounded like," but
Yeah, I was super excited. I did say that it was a possibility. I did say it was a possibility. I said probably. That's what I said.
Yes, and we have our fingers crossed too. So one step at a time.
Yeah.
We'll be certainly ready for whatever it looks like, and we want the ability to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. And listen, and we know that people might not feel comfortable coming out to bowling. They might feel comfortable going to the supermarket, but they don't feel comfortable bowling. But we could save that for another day. Have your masks ready, and we'll be.
Oh, we're gonna have
when we know.
I'm gonna get my pile of masks to be selling.
So for those that just tuned in, as a few of you just did, we are hoping that the governor's announcement is certainly true for us here in New York City.
Somebody just asked, "Is this our last show?"
No.
We don't want. Yes, and listen, we hope to see you on Monday if we can make that happen. And this is something that Frankie and I.
And it might not be Monday. It might be Tuesday.
It might be Tuesday.
Wednesday.
We
have a lot of moving parts. We have to bring our staff in.
Yeah,
there's a lot of moving parts that are going to go into this weekend. And knowing that we need to be prepared, and we didn't. To bring everybody in so soon was a struggle because we didn't. I mean, we were taking guesses at things that we were going to have to do. Right. And so just throwing spaghetti at the wall. So we have to prepare.
It seems like every phase they were giving information so far out in advance. Like we would have, like they would say, okay, when phase 5 starts in 3 weeks, we'll consider this. So you kind of get into that flow of information, figuring, oh, that's okay. When they finally tell us, we're going to have a few weeks to get things shaped together.
Well, right. So today, the announcement also, the inclusion for museums gives them a week.
We're not complaining.
No.
Monday is the day. We want Monday to be the day. And hopefully it's the day for us.
And Steve, today won't be the last show.
Even
Maybe Monday could be the last show. But this will live on in some way, shape, or form.
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever that might be. And so it might be, we might continue in a way where we're having a conversation with people that are actually in the building other than ourselves. And Flat Andy. We want to be talking with more people than just him.
Yeah.
And Nazareth.
He's kind of quiet, though. He doesn't really.
He hasn't had a lot to say
while
he's been on set. He ate Dunkaroos yesterday.
Yes, and he hasn't had an upset stomach or anything that he's complained about. There's nothing on the floor.
We put it depends on him, so in case he needs the restroom.
And I'm not checking it.
Hey, Naz. So this is our 25th anniversary, as you probably know by now.
Yes.
If you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
And we've spent half of it closed, and so we're looking forward to getting open when we can. I don't have a photo, but this has been sitting here for the past couple days.
Oh my God!
I almost pulled it out the other day when Bobby Garzone was on, and we were deep in conversation with our guest, and didn't want to interrupt. But this little guy, this little egg bowling dude, came out of the ceiling when we were working in the locker room. We went up there. It might have been Jimmy. No, at the time I think it was Uncle Bob fished this
Uncle Bob.
And if I am found, Tony Annasso and Bobby Garzone put me here. July 5th, 2003.
That is freaking fun.
So when Tony Ann had the jewelry store and they were doing Bobby had been doing some work for her, they threw this in the ceiling. And then this came down a few years ago when we were doing some work, and Uncle Bob found it. And so this has been on my desk since. So that's today's little, I don't have a photo of it, but this is the physical photo.
I remember when that happened.
I'm sure there are plenty of other things.
Oh, between up there and down in there, we have found some interesting items.
Many interesting items. Jennifer, thanks. Fair warning, the last 3 houses.
We're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. We're ready to rock and roll when we can, but we're not closing. So I don't think you have the ability to close us. We've welcomed many people into this bowling center that have closed other bowling centers, and we're still
here.
And that says a lot for us. So, hey, Happy Friday. We want you to enjoy your weekend. We will be back here on Monday,
regardless of what's going on.
At 12 noon, live from Rabs.
Yeah.
We might pop in earlier, so check in on our Facebook page for updates.
Yes.
Visit bowlatrabs.com for the latest. When we have more information, you'll be the first to know. Check your emails, check our website, check the posts.
Our first breaking report, probably.
We might have a breaking report. You never know.
Special report. Yeah, maybe we'll have Joe.
The last time you and I did a special report was March 18th.
Was when we started it.
And that special report's still hanging around YouTube in here. But that was the last special report that we did live when Naz and I announced that we were doing live from Rabs. And here we are, 122 days later, with some great news that we're hoping is true. For us, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay tuned. Again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, our website. Everywhere that you consume, whatever it might be, Rabs and bowling.
Share it.
We'll have more information for you, but we will be back here certainly live on Monday.
Yeah, and if you're on the Facebook, make sure you click the little on the YouTube. Click that little bell so you know when we come live, and you will know.
Now you really want to know.
Yeah.
Now you should be extra excited to see Naz and I.
You don't want to miss it.
Enjoy your weekend. Naz.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Yeah, that doesn't stop. Please.
Continues.
And personal hygiene is the utmost important.
Forever and ever. Ever, ever. Yes.
Ever.
And ever and ever.
Naz.
That was awesome.
We'll see you at some point, whether it's over the weekend or Monday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.